my graduate work in Edinburgh was in a field that Waddington called epigenetics. And now, 60 years later, we have the technology that allows us to actually see what epigenetics is. And it's not that we are an individual. We are part of everything that's around us, and that includes the microorganisms and the flora in our gut, in our lungs. It's the millions of bugs, bacteria, etc., that are on our skin. It's all of the genetic information that comes into the food that we eat. It's all the chemicals we assume. And then you put on top of that the genetics that we inherited from our parents, and the mitochondrial genetics that we inherited from mom alone. And you put that all together, and I always looked at saying, what is the biggest picture? And I'll go back to my grandfather, who, when he said, when you're moving cows, always look for the unexpected. And he said, you'll never walk home if you're riding a new bronc if you're wary enough to be kind of one jump ahead so that you know what the unexpected is. Because the real answers that we've got through all of science and the importance of science in our curriculum, etc., is being brave enough to say, wow, there's something that's different. Everybody else can go in this direction, and there's unanimous consent that that's right. But in fact, if you look back over the history of science and information, you'll find that very, very often it's the person that came out of left field, and lots of times from a different field, and looked at a body of data and said, oh wow, this is what's going on, as opposed to saying, this is where we're going down this road. And as a result, in all of our undergraduate education, in our K-12, the real effective people that we have as teachers and educators are the ones that are encouraging kids to say, hey, what do you see here? How do you explain this? Where do you see this going? Just don't worry about a bunch of the details. And the kids nowadays are so phenomenal in tracking down the vast amounts of data that it's incredible. My concern is their attention span and concentration span may be falling into a situation where they won't stay with something long enough to put the pieces together.